with regard to the amount of money that your campaign received from the Stanford Financial Group?
Yeah,
and what you intend to do about it?
Well, all of it's going to charity. Going through and trying to determine the exact amount. It goes back to some events back in 2001 or 2002, maybe others. I want to be careful about telling you the exact amount because we're still trying to get through and determine what it is. But whatever it is, all of it will be donated to charity.
So that's why there's conflicting numbers in various...
There may be, yeah, trying to go back over the records.
Can you also answer the criticism that some are saying that in your recruiting drive for money for your campaign for president, by getting all of this money from these various financial groups, that it tainted your judgment on the committee?
On the what?
On the banking. Or perhaps diverted you from it?
No, I don't think so. Look, in the case of, again, the advocacy on many of these issues are not exactly whether it's dealing with credit cards or predatory lending practices, fighting on behalf of tenants, executive compensation issues. I wouldn't exactly brand myself as a friend of the lending institutions in these matters. So you save money. And I, as you know, Mark, over the years have been an advocate for public financing, federal elections. I voted for constitutional amendments to change the system. The system is a bad system in my view. And the support of the McCain-Feingold legislation over the years, I think it's one of the real cancers in our political system. And until that changes, obviously you have to raise the money to run for office. Unless you're a self-funder and you have the ability to finance your own campaigns individually, which I don't, but you raise money. And unfortunately, I'm not clairvoyant. In some cases, you receive money and support from people who turn out to be people you wouldn't want to be associated with, as is the case of Stanford. And what you do in those cases, in my view, is immediately find out what the resources are and either return them to them, or in this case, not to them, but to charity, so that you try to clean up the books.
Your relatively negative polling numbers that came out the same week that you had your press conference on mortgage. People apparently don't feel you were trustworthy or don't believe what you said. Do you think that the way you did that mistake, and do you think you need to do more to convince the public as you prepare for re-election?
Well, I don't know. Steve, we'll see. Obviously, do the best you can. The complaint was before we didn't release the information. We did so in a way I thought that was appropriate and proper. It was a full vetting of it, give people a chance to go over it. Obviously, people draw their own conclusions. Polling data, I've been around the process long enough. I can tell you that I know these numbers. They go up, they go down. The best politics is do your job. And do it every day and stand up and fight on behalf of your constituency, the state, across the country. We're in the worst economic circumstances in our lifetime. The number of jobs being lost, homes being foreclosed, the precarious nature of our future, retirements being wiped out in nanoseconds. I think people are more concerned about whether or not we're going to do something about their jobs and their future, not my job, in a sense. My job is to do my job. And if you do that, then the other politics, in my view, will take care of themselves in time. And that's my intention to do it. And poll numbers will come and go, one way or the other. What doesn't come and go is whether or not the state and the country is going to get back on its feet again. And I have a job right now to do on their behalf, and I intend to do it full time to see to it we can't get our economy in a place where they're chicken.
His job along with him for president. So another swindler gets caught, another Ponzi scheme guy gets caught who gave to Chris Dodd. I'm happy that he's going to give the money to charity, as I am for Republicans that were also receiving those funds. I think the bigger picture here is the tremendous amount of money that bought Chris Dodd's influence over the financial industries, or lack thereof, and that led to the collapse in small part because no one was paying attention. No one was really asking the tough questions on how all these companies like Countrywide, like Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, which the senator said was also in good fiscal shape, collapsed. And that's why we're in the fix room.
But isn't it also about you as the party chairman seeing a wounded big-time Democrat who potentially could be a good target to make the race competitive in 2010?
Senator Dodd has been a senator for 35 years. He's a professional politician. He knows what he's doing. He is a formidable foe. I think what we're trying to point out to the public is last year, in 2007, Chris Dodd made 3 trips to Connecticut that he sought reimbursement for. 3. So you have to ask yourself, does Chris Dodd want to be the senator from Connecticut anymore? If he does, I think we're going to have a very strong candidate alternative as an alternative to the public.
Are you trying to get Chris Shays or Rod Simmons to run?
It's an open process in our party. We have a lot of interested people. I think whoever we nominate is going to be a winning candidate. I think people are ready to try something different. At least have a senator who's here in Connecticut, paying attention to Connecticut issues, and taking care of his job as a chairman of an important committee, which literally affects the lives of every citizen in this country.
Are there 2 men on your radar?
Yes. Well, no, Rob Simmons, Tom Foley, Chris Shays. Those are the ones that have been making the most noises. But, you know, there's plenty of time. We have a long way to go toward 2010. I'm glad to see Chris Dodd coming back to Connecticut and sharing his thoughts about various issues, but it's a little late. It's a little late. No, I'm not blaming him for the entire collapse of the financial industry. But he had a key part, a key responsibility as head of this committee. He talks about it all the time. Where was he? Well, he was running for president. When he wasn't running for president, he wasn't doing his job.
What do you think?